Hello, it's another Friday on the IBM TV. Today it's actually World Post Day. Remember back in the days when we used to post mails from every corner, like Nigeria, you send mails to the US, to the UK, to South Africa, to Egypt, and you keep watching out for your mailman or mailwoman. But actually, those days I never saw a woman doing dispatching mails, just mailmen. So and you go check your email box. That's your mailbox or your mailbag. In Nigeria, we do have mailbags, and we also have the mailbox. Those days, I remember I used to go and check to see if I've gotten any new mails from friends and organizations that I do write to. But today, you can send emails or mails to any part of the world with just a click of the button. Yes, the internet has really changed things, but still does not change that we have to celebrate World Post Day. Today is World Post Day, and tomorrow it's an important day. Tomorrow it's World Mental Health Day. Yes, I know you'll be surprised. Why am I saying this today? Today it's actually we're on the IBM TV. We are really dedicating today's show to World Mental Health Day. Tomorrow is World Mental Health Day, October 10th, being celebrated by the WHO. And we on the IBM TV is dedicating today's show. You understand? And because today's show is really dealing on mental health as well, mental illness, healing processes for sexually traumatized victims. My name is Brown Wachinamelu, your host of Mind Closet 101. You can call me Michael if the watching ML is really difficult. And you can follow me on all social media handles like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also LinkedIn. Now, if you check your time, it is 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's EST and PST. So I'm saying good morning to all our viewers in US, Canada, Jamaica, Cuba, Mexico, and Peru. It is 2 p.m. West African time, so that is 2 p.m. Nigerian time. So I'm saying good afternoon to all my brothers on the west coast of Africa. It's 3 p.m. Central African time, so I'm saying good afternoon to all our viewers in Zimbabwe, Botswana, Burundi, Egypt, Libya, Rwanda, and South Africa. It's 6:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, IST. So I'm saying namaste to all Asia. It's good to have you. So in case you're tuning in for the first time, this is Mind Closet One-on-One on the IBM TV every 9 a.m. and 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Pacific Standard Time. And here, all problems are the illusions of the mind. Don't forget that. If you are perfect, be the first to cast a stone, judge not, and you shall not be judged. Mind Closet 101 is a live coaching show that gives people the platform to ask questions that have been locked in the closets of their mind. Also, a one-on-one avenue for people to freely interact, express their inner thoughts without being judged, where everyone can learn from different experiences, opinion, not only permitted to talk about our victories, successes, but also our failures, mistakes, and burdens. We discuss more of life-related issues that affect our daily lives, like mental health, relationship, family, communities, and the world at large. Yes. So this show is always on the IBM TV from 9 a.m., 6 a.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and also 6:30 p.m. Now, let me introduce my guests. We have amazing people on today's show, and I can't really wait to bring them out. To me, they're just like a dish about to be served. Whoa. Okay. As we wait for them, let me see. Good. Okay. Okay. Now, she's the mother, an author, certified English teacher, freelance writer, editor, author assistant, coach, poet, entrepreneur, storyteller, public speaker, a blogger. She's also a blog and website expert and consultant. She helps people become authors. She's among 25 successful copyright experts in the world. Raped at the age of 14 while she was still a virgin, she turned into drugs, quitted school 4 times, and became very promiscuous. At the age of 16, she had an abortion and got involved with prostitution. At 18, she had Hassan. She went back to school and graduated via the Single Mothers program. She attended Lakehead University, having uh, bachelor in arts and bachelor in education, field of study, math and English. She worked for 3.5 years teaching in a small town. She quitted to move to her hometown, returning into prostitution and drugs, thinking the money was better. But it ruined her self-esteem. She was suicidal for years, due to which she was involved in an accident where she nearly lost her right leg. The resulting scar deformity of her leg contributed to her depression. Her life got worse when her son left without speaking with her for 3 years, during which she had been taking crack for 10 months, and the bust of appendix, which almost took her life. This didn't, which she didn't want to die without saying goodbye to her son. This really affected her and turned her life around. The event changed her life for good, so she finally reconnected with her son. Her life, by the time she was already reconnecting with her son, her life was already back on track. She decided to pursue a writing career. She now owns a business. She lives a clean life, spending a lot of time helping others. She has 5 honors and awards to her credit, which is the Kawanda um, Club of Westford Scholarship Award, Lakehead Board of Education Dancing Education Scholarship, Lakehead University Entrance Award of Academic Excellence, Lakehead University Student Union Silver Jubilee Scholarship, OAC Gold Award, Gold Medal Award, yes. She's the CEO of Wording Well, with 2 fast-selling books on the Amazon, which she will soon be a bestseller very soon. I bet you, I promise you, very soon she'll be a bestseller because I do have bestsellers on my show. I've had 2, and I believe she'll be the third to be on Mind Closet 101. Her books are from Nope to Hope and Risky Issues. I recommend them you get them because they're already on my list for 2021. So please do get those books and start reading them. It help you get off whatever situation, and you get to know someone how she transformed her life from negative to a positive vibe. Yes, all the way from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. She speaks Spanish and English. Voila! I present to you Lauren Wrigley. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, how are you, Michael?
I'm good. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now you're gonna tell us good morning in Spanish. Only that.
Buenos dias.
Gracias.
De nada.
All right. I have another guest. She's a mother, a public speaker, a gospel singer, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and an actress in making. Graduated with a BSc from Federal University of Technology, Akure, on the stage. She uses her singing gift to minister healing to the sick and giving hope to God's people. She vowed to be God's instrument in the mission of giving a voice to the hopeless and the less privileged. The CEO of Diamond Laundromat, residing in the capital of West Africa, which is the city of Lagos. She speaks Yoruba and English friendly. Her name is Oluwaseun Ogusi. No, okay, she's on. Hi,
Hi.
Shay. Good to
Hi.
have you on the show.
Hi. How are you?
I'm
Lauren, how are
good.
you? Good
Good.
afternoon.
How are you?
I'm good.
Actually, I love it today that your network is good, and you look excited. And I know today will be exciting for every one of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Good to have you on the
I
show.
believe so.
Okay. I have another guest. Although she's today she'll be my guest. She's a member of the IBM TV now. She has she's an Amazon best seller. She's a journalist, an author, a motivational speaker, a podcaster, a blogger, content creator, yes, independent consultant, teacher, educationist, and also an entrepreneur. She has a bachelor degree in journalism and bachelor of arts in mass communication, media studies, both degrees at Asheville University, Associate of Arts in Journalism at the Academy of Arts University. She has a Bachelor of Education in Early Childhood Education and Teaching, and Associate degree in Elementary Education and Teaching, both in Coronado Mountain College. She has a lot of books selling fast on the Amazon, like I Win, Review, and other inspirational books. She also has 5 podcast shows: Axe Win podcast, Artwork from CP podcast, just to mention a few. As a competitor in the corner Ironman Travelion, she is the CEO of her own jewelry design company. Despite she was born with cerebral palsy, she has defied the odds by achieving everything she ever wanted. She tours the country speaking to schools and institutions to raise awareness about cerebral palsy and living a full life no matter what holds you back. She's also an advocate of veterans across the world, and her mission is to help others with physical and mental disabilities to find their voice, passion, through with through written or spoken words, using today's accessible technologies as needed. She speaks Spanish and English, and she's the host of hashtag Win with Win. Her name is Win Kelly Charles.
Hi, you guys. Yes, I do host on IMTV with Michael, and I'm honored to be here. And the little bit of Spanish that I do speak, I get by. It's not fluent, you guys, but I get by in the language of Spanish. But I'm honored to be here and be a member of the IMTV family as of last Monday.
Yeah, good. Our show is always on Monday for those that really want to get into our show. Our show is more about women entrepreneurs, and I bet you won't be missing. But she'll talk about our show very soon. I'm also thinking, if I don't know if she's here, but let me kindly introduce her. She's a well-spoken, articulated, professional digital marketer, writer. Okay, she's not here. She's not here, but I guess I'll be informed when she'll be here. Today, I really have a story I'd like you everyone to listen to. Now, the story is a letter written to the producer of Mind Closet 101. And her letter is, she says, addressing to the producer, Mind Closet 101. She said, "Hello, sir. Praise God for using you to introduce this show, Mind Closet 101. It's really have touched lives, and I believe it will touch mine as well. Please hide my identity as you tell my story. I am 30 years old and have been living as a prostitute. I really want I really want to stop, but really can't. My grandmother was a prostitute and gave birth to my father. Then my father got my mother pregnant out of wedlock, and later my own mother went into prostitution as well. When When I was 9 years old, I was disvirgined by my uncle, and at 13, I already joined the prostitution club, which I am into till date. Anytime I try to live the business, I find it difficult to meet my needs. I'm living a wayward life of drugs, alcohol, and prostitution for the past 17 years. Every time I try to stop, I get sick. Getting a decent job is hard, and I won't be able to meet my daily needs. I sponsored myself in getting my first OND, which is ordinary diploma, just a diploma degree. Yes, in one of Nigerian polytechnics through prostitution, and now I am building a house in the village with the same profession. I have lost 4 suitors because of it, and it's really hurting. I have tried going into business, but business won't survive for long. I need to collapse. I believe that I am caused to I am caused to never be someone useful in life. Thinking of my grandmother who was doing it in her lifetime, and my mom who is still in the business. Sir, I really need your advice on how I can stop this and become a better person. Now, to all our viewers, this is Mind Closer 101. So please don't forget to like our page on Facebook. That's Mind Closer 101 on the Facebook page. You can also like the IBM TV Facebook page, in which you can also join us, and subscribe at our YouTube channels for more exciting shows. Yes, on the IBM TV on YouTube channels. Don't forget to send us your questions, your comments, whatever you feel about the show on our pages. And also, you can also follow me on Facebook, Brown Chinemelo, Instagram, Twitter, and also LinkedIn. Just use that name written on my tag, Brown Chinemelo, to find me, and you can also follow me. You can also drop your comments as well and let us if you want to. And we promise to hide your identity. So, yes, let me start with Lauren. Lauren, you heard the story, right? Aha. So what's your take on it?
A lot of people don't like talking about what happened to them, and they want their identity to be hidden. And I think that's an important thing to focus on, because they feel, people who have had something happen to them, whatever kind of sexual abuse or sexual assault, they feel ashamed, even though it's not their fault. And they have difficulty talking about what happened. And so they might pose a scenario that comes across as being hypothetical when it actually happened to them, just because they don't want others to know that it happened to them. And so, that's something that's really important to address, because so many sexual abuse survivors, I don't like to use the word victims, because we are survivors after all. And being a survivor implies that we have strength, which we do, and we don't often give ourselves credit for having that strength. And having that, that strength comes across even in being able to talk about things, whether in the hypothetical or not. But having the strength and the courage to admit what happened and, start that dialogue, start that conversation, takes tremendous strength. And a lot of survivors, they forget how much strength and courage they actually possess.
Okay. That's true. Actually, it's I just believe that people really don't know who they are and the strength that they have, and how they can change that negative vibe to a positive vibe. I agree with you. Um, Shing, you're with us,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes, I'm
What's
with
your
you.
take on that story?
Actually, the background matters a lot.
Okay.
From this part of the world where I come from, it's very difficult for people to come out to tell you this kind of story. And she has been through it. She has seen her mother going through the same thing. It will be very difficult for her to pull out. One, because a source of income comes from there and she's not relying on it. And for people like that, it's always very difficult to start from the scratch, build a life. It takes you to have somebody strong, and not just strong, somebody that just be with you. So for someone like that, at first, the first thing I'll tell the person is, are you ready? It's not going to be a very smooth journey. It's not going to be, are you ready? If this person is ready, you know that it means that you're starting from the scratch, and then is you start building it gradually till you get.
Hello. Okay. Our network is off. Till she gets back, we'll still be here. Laurie, do you agree that it's really difficult to start from the scratch and possible to, it's really difficult to stand without it? You having that experience?
Yeah, if you don't have any support, it is very difficult. However, if you have support from friends and family, it makes things so much easier because you have a bigger belief in yourself about your ability to succeed. Now, that's not to say that someone who doesn't have any support can't succeed, because they certainly can if their drive is strong enough. Oh, she's back.
Yeah, she's back. She's back.
We'll let her pick up where she left off.
Okay, Sherry, you can continue from where you stopped. Are you there? Can you hear us?
No.
Huh?
Seems like she's
Hello?
having technical problems again.
Yeah. Yes. Are you there, Sharon?
I'm here. I'm with you. I'm hearing you.
I go from where you stopped. You were saying something before you got disconnected from the network.
Okay, I said for someone like that, you just have to believe that she can do it. It's not going to be an easy road.
Mm-hmm.
First, you need to change environment, change friends,
Mm-hmm.
and start from the scratch. So, for someone that's been in prostitution for 17 good years, probably her mother is there, a family. In fact, all the people she knows to be a family are they know how to be this person. Her friends know how to be doing this business. So it's not going to be very easy for her at first. But she needs to be determined that I can do this. Change environment, get support, friends that believe that she can go through that journey and she will succeed.
Mm.
Get a job is very important because that is where she feel her income comes from. I believe that is this kind of lie we tell ourselves and we just believe it sometimes. She just needs to know that there's still this person inside of her. They can be beautiful, they can do something else apart from being a prostitute.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Wayne, you heard the story. What's your take on it?
Can you hear
My
me?
my take is, number one, I think she
Okay.
needs to get counseling immediately and start coming out to a safe space. In education, and Lori knows this, in education, we are always trained to have be first reporters, meaning that we are able to call child protective services. And so if that person says, look, this is what I've been doing and I need to get out of it, something, she needs to come out to someone, to a safe place, because someone will be able and willing to help her. In my case, I came out with a witness, um, and I came out to someone who was a counselor, and I said, this is what's going on. I had a witness me come out, and I had a witness it. My emotional and physical abuse happened on June 23rd, 2019. And so I think this person needs to come out to a safe person, a safe space, and start talking about it. And I agree with Lloyd that having friends and family could be a support, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. And a lot of people who haven't been in the camps of me, Loy, and myself, Loy, and Sue, they tend to say, I'm sorry that happened to you. My own stepmom that witnessed what I went through personally still says to this day, I'm sorry that happened to you. So until you are ready to come out, I think that it's gonna be a long hard road for that person, and I think she should come out to a counselor first, and then start processing it with her friends and family. Because if she does it the other way around, the friends and family can't do anything.
Thank you, Win. Great. Lauren, back to you. This question goes to you because of you've been a survivor, so and you got out of it, and I believe she will want to hear from you how you got out of it. Saying getting out of the business is really really difficult. Let's not forget she got raped at the age of 9, and I'll tell you the truth, I was shocked that she got into prostitution at the age of 13. Wow, that's quite a tender age. And sorry to say this, I'm sorry I'm going to say this. I'm trying to imagine how a man will be dealing with such a little girl, because I believe she was a little girl at that very age. You understand? But at the same time, let me still not forget, we still have teenagers that are still coming to help these people out in their businesses. So now I believe she wants to hear from you how you got out of it, because like from your bio, you went into teaching and all of a sudden you left because you felt the money you were getting from that business was really better than that. Then today you've stopped and you're telling us it's difficult. Share your experience, how you got out of it. How were you able to be the Lauren of today, among the most 25 successful writers in the world? Please, they want to hear that.
Yeah, so as she Sam was saying earlier, you need to sever contacts with your current friends and put yourself in a different environment. That is really important, because you won't be able to change your life until you do that.
Yeah.
And for me, my experience was I started spending time with my mom and dad at their place. And
Okay.
I I got off the street and got away from the drugs and got away from that whole scene just because I was in a different environment and I had support from those people. Now, not everyone's going to have that kind of support available. So it's going to come down to how badly that person wants to get out of the situation they're in. Help does exist. There's shelters out there for battered women. There's all kinds of different support that's available, but you have to want it bad enough and you have to be willing to make those changes. You have to be willing to maybe move to either a different area or even a different city or town, if that's what it takes to get away from it all. Yeah, Wynn, you wanted to say something?
I wanted to say something as to she's going to have to cut ties from her what she's doing now to start healing herself, not only come out in a safe space, but she's going to have to cut ties from what she's doing now. I agree with Roy that you're going to have to cut ties in order to heal yourself, and there are jobs opportunities aplenty in those women's shelters. In those, there are people that deal with communities day in day out. She's just going to have to find those who deal with the communities day in day out. They call them community engagement officers or community resource officers, and she's just going to, this person you speak of, Michael, is going to have to figure out who is in her circle that could help her find a job, and immediately after she reports it, immediately cut ties with what she's doing.
Yeah, that's a good point about working and helping other people and finding a job, because you need to obviously have money in order to support yourself and live. You need money to pay the rent, or you need money to pay the bills. So as someone is transitioning from a life where they're making money so freely, but it's costing them so much emotionally and mentally.
Sure.
Because and that needs to be talked about, because the emotional aspect and the effects on your mental health of being a prostitute is really devastating. And the person who is like, 'cause I can speak from my own experience. When I was working on the street, I would, dress up and make myself look. You're basically lying to yourself about your true self and who you are. Number two, you're putting yourself in a situation that's not healthy and that's going to have a negative effect on your self-image, because people who work in the field of prostitution are often stereotyped and looked upon negatively and looked upon as dirty and looked upon as, being a drug addict or being worthless or being less than, as not being deemed worthy of having respect. And all of those things destroy you. Like they really do. They eat away at you, and you try to pretend that it's not happening, but there's going to come a point where things will just come to a head, and you need to you need to be able to admit that to yourself, and you need to be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being used and abused. Surely there's something better for me in this world. And finding a job doing something different where you're going to earn the same level of money might not happen right away. However, if you can pull yourself out of that situation and, like Wynn said, go into the community and look for jobs that are available, maybe through the women's shelter, you can just talk to people and say, hey, you know what, I would rather be on the other side of this, helping other women get out of it, helping other women deal with their emotional and mental issues, helping them, be an advocate for people of, strength and courage, and anyone who wants to really change their life. And, that's what we're all here for, is talking about the different success stories, right? And
Sure.
trying to make awareness of sexual abuse happen, because it's happened to so many people. I mean, look at the hashtag Me Too movement from a couple of years ago. That got so many people talking, and it spread so much awareness that now we've had so many women and men come forward and say, hey, I've been abused and I've been healing from this on my own, and now I want to heal with other people. And so when someone's working in the field of prostitution, generally speaking, they're there willingly. I know I made the conscious decision that, yes, this is what I'm going to do. But the reason I made that decision was because what was going on in my mind was so messed up that my thinking was not rational. I figured, well, I was raped and everything, and so I had a low self-esteem. I didn't feel that I had any worth as a human being. And I thought, well, maybe I'm good for, I'm just here to please guys, and that's it. That's how skewed my thinking was. Now, this girl being raped at 9 years old, it's just a child, having to deal with that on her own, and then going into, when she's a teenager, going into prostitution. That's basically the same thing that I went through. It just happened a few years later, but the parallels are exactly the same. So this poor girl has no concept of who she is, what she's capable of, and what her skills are, because she has never had the opportunity to be a little girl and grow into herself, her true self. All of that was taken away from her, and she was forced into a different life, just like I was. And I mean, it took me years to learn about myself and to learn that, hey, you know what? I am a human being who has worth. I have something I can offer other people. I have skills not a lot of other people have, when it comes to writing and editing and, things like that. But the most important thing that I realized is I have worth. And she probably doesn't feel like she has any of that. She needs to have some time to just be a person, be herself, and discover who she really is. And that's where the healing is going to start taking place. By having her mind open and having the support and a different environment to grow and flourish in. Because up until now, she's basically been told, no, you know what? This is all you're good for. You don't deserve anything else. You don't deserve love. You don't deserve to be treated well. You don't, you're not worthy of anything except being treated like shit.
Yeah.
And when someone lives through that over and over and over and over, they believe it.
True.
And I see everybody here nodding, like, yeah, because you ladies know, you've been there. Like, this is something that I'm really glad that Pastor Michael's involved in this, because not a lot of men will take the time to hear the woman's side of the story. But men will listen to men. So if they have a positive man like you, Michael, they will listen to you. The three of us could talk until we're blue in the face. They won't listen to us. You say one sentence and they will respect you and listen to you. And that's why I think it's really important that we get more men listening to the survivor's side of things, and more men willing to help make that change and make that impact on other people.
True. Let me come in here. Actually, I'm someone that I hate people taking advantage of other people, like probably a stronger sex, having overpowering the weaker sex. You understand? Bullying, all these things, they're too annoying. And I'm not trying to judge, but it's just that I've just gotten a new different mindset altogether. The person doing it is not actually perfect. I'm not perfect, so I can't judge. But there were two things I hate in life, and I could kill for those two things. The first one is never rape a woman. I could kill a rapist. I could kill someone that steals. So it's actually inborn. And again, remember when growing up, Shewa understands what I mean. This way of life we do here in the youth. Oh, you go meet a girl, and probably she comes in. You understand? You try and make advances, and she keeps saying, no, don't touch me. No, not in the mud. No. Then while growing up, I was looking at it as one of those ways women say, oh, yes, I need it. Yes, I need it. But saying no portrays that she's not cheap. You understand what I mean? So I have that mindset of, oh, give her space. When she says no, let her be. And I've gotten incidents of where after I had three incidents of like that. And the funny part is their girlfriends come back to me to tell me that the girl or the person or the individual in question said I was a weakling. Didn't I understand that when she was saying no, that she really needed it? But to tell you the truth, I respect people's feelings. I respect them. I believe if you're not in the mood, I don't need to force myself on you. And in the process of saying no, and you keep pressurizing, that is when you've already raped. You understand? And we've gotten incidents whereby the girl actually was not in the mood. You understand? And the person raped her. So it's something that we really need to speak much about and raise a voice about, because I was abused sexually. Yes. But I can't say I was raped. I don't understand what I'm saying. I can't say I was raped, but I was abused sexually. And luckily for me, I understood what it means raping a woman. You understand? Shewa, I believe you have something to say, Shewa. You can say, after you, then Win will go ahead to tell us or something she needs to talk about. Shewa, are you there? I think we have a network issue with her. Win, while we wait for her, why don't you go ahead? Yes.
I was going to say, I applaud you, Blessed Michael, and I'll say this live, and I've said this to you before. I applaud you for bringing all three of us on to share our stories, and I applaud you being the guy that listens to us and shares it out with the world, because I agree with Roy. We can talk to these women and these guys until we're blue in the face, but they won't
Mhm.
listen to us. And unless it's a guy doing it to another guy, they will listen to you. But and Laura's shaking her head. Yes, but at the same time, it can happen to anyone at any time by anybody. It doesn't have to be a caregiver in my case, and
True.
it doesn't have to be a just go out on the streets. It can be in your home, and what happens is the abuser won't let the abusee go get help. They think it's fun, and they think that, oh, I'm going on Phil Tilt, and I just don't want to let my victim go. And so um, they just think, I don't want to let my victim go. And what I have talked to cops publicly about this, I have actually talked to a retired cop publicly, and I was on his podcast sharing my story. And he said, you need to come up with code words that you can use in a sentence for for that specific reason, as in help me, I need to get out of it. And so I think if you can be let go for at least 2 minutes by your abuser who's ever abusing you, whether they're raping you, sexually assaulting you, sexually abusing you, physically abusing you. I think you need to have that code word to use in a sentence. And I think you need to put a man in that inner circle who knows that code word rather than a bunch of women, because we can explain until we're blue in the face about this, but if a man is trying to sexually assault a woman, in my case, it was two women that did it to me, and
Mm.
the man wasn't inside. But I think having another man tell the abuser to go take a hike in a good way is a blessing in disguise. And I also think the Me Too movement has got to keep going and got to be more in the spotlight than it was. This Me Too movement can't go away. This Me Too movement can't go away. And I applaud IMTV and I applaud you for bringing all of us on and speaking about it this morning, because you're going, Buzz Michael, you're going to start a new Me Too movement here now that you broached the subject.
Sure. Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Win. Honored to even have you guys here to talk about this because It's something we really need to address, and I pray by His grace of God it will end. Wayne, tell us your experience with being abused. I don't know if you sexually abused, but I know you were abused. You told me that. Share your
I
experience.
was I was physically abused and mentally abused. I wasn't sexually abused.
I
If
know.
if I was, they would hear about it loud and clear than they actually do. But my in my case, two women who were family members of mine came in to my house on June 23rd, 2019. And they had a meeting with me before they decided to do what they did. And they had four witnesses. So it wasn't like they were at the house alone with me. I've always had someone here with me all my life to take care of my needs. And I want to make one thing clear that it wasn't my stepsister, it wasn't my stepmom, it wasn't my aide that was working with me at the time. So these two dum-dums come in, have a meeting with me, and then I being obedient, follow them downstairs. But I knew what was about to happen because I got a very weird feeling on the night before. The night before it was my birthday. And I got a very weird feeling the night before. And my abuser was and is a severe alcoholic. She's also addicted to heavy drugs. And so my abuser, and once the abusers go on Phil, Phil Tilt, nothing will stop them. My abuser said something to my aide at the time, and my abuser just went from my aide to me to my stepsister to my stepmom.
Hello.
And she didn't stop until she was back in her home country. Finally I told someone, and we started the process. I told someone a week after it happened, and we started the process, and then of calling Adult Protective Services and doing all that. And I know that in my research on being sexually abused, on being emotionally abused, on being physical abused, you can go to your local hospital and get a rape kit here in the United States. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lori, but you know more about this than I do. But I have heard here in the United States that you can go get a rape kit anonymously and do it that way. But the men have to be involved, and they have to do what they call witnessing.
I don't know exactly because I live in Canada, but I do know that if a woman has been raped, they can go to any hospital and request a rape kit. I do know that. And I'm pretty sure that you can request it to be anonymous if that's what you want. So I think that the most important thing is getting that done if you have been raped. So a note to all people out there in the future, if something horrific like that happens to you, don't have a bath and wash yourself until after they have had a chance to collect all of their evidence, whether it's skin cells, whether it's semen, whatever it is, to identify the other person, especially if you don't know who it is. Because I mean, like, there's so many different scenarios in which a person can be sexually assaulted. Just walking down the street by a stranger, out at a bar, being kidnapped or forced into a vehicle. Anything could happen. So the important thing is, because people always feel so dirty and they want to just clean themselves after. They just want to shower and they scrub and scrub and scrub. But it's important to get that rape kit done so that you can figure out who it was that assaulted you. So I'm sure any hospital in Canada or the United States would do it. I don't know what the protocol would be in other countries. I would hope that it's very similar, as long as you go to some authorities. Any kind of ask to speak to a detective, or somebody within the police force who could collect that evidence, that physical DNA evidence, like I said, whether it's semen, whether it's skin cells, if you fought the attacker and you scratch them somehow, whether it's a hair sample, whatever it is, something that will provide DNA evidence to identify the attacker and bring that person to justice, whether you decide to press charges or not. Sometimes it won't be up to you to do it. The police will even do that for you. So, you can sort of stay the anonymous person if that's what you want to do. But the other person will still suffer the consequences if they're, once they're found out like who it is and the charges are brought against them. So, I mean, what would the protocol in Nigeria be? Because I don't know. I'm not familiar with what happens down in Africa. Maybe you could let me know, Michael.
Well, actually, I can't really tell you medically the procedures, but I just know that when a rape case comes up, first the police get involved, and they'll refer them to there's this body, I've forgotten the name. They look into it, but I know they'll be taken to the hospital as well. But I don't know if they have a rape kit as well. I wish Sharon was around. Sharon will be in the best position to tell us more how they do it here in Nigeria, because she was raped, and I wanted her to share her own story of how it happened and how she got healed. I think she's back. Okay, she's back. Hi, Sharon. Sharon,
Okay.
can you hear us?
I am here. Sorry, I have network issues.
Yes, good.
Yes, I can
yes.
hear you loud and clear.
Yes, I
Can
can
you hear
see
me?
your. Yes, I can hear you. I can see your technician is trying to help you with the connection. You freezed again. Wow, come on. I need you to be on air. You need to tell me something. All right. While we wait for her, Sharon, are you there? Okay. Now, while we wait for Sharon to tell us about how the procedures, let me ask you, how did you heal yourself from these abusers?
How did I heal myself? Well,
Yes. Okay.
the first thing I did was I told someone, because I knew in my mind's eye that I was getting emotionally abused and physically abused due to my training in early childhood education. And so I came right out and told someone, but it's taken me a year solidly to deal with it, because I lost my virginity as a woman, and I lost my integrity. And why they did that is because I have a physical disability, and that's why they emotionally and physically abused me. But I think if you have a good support system and are able to tell someone, I think that's a start. But also someone that you trust, and tell someone who is authority. 9 times out of 10, with my case and Loy's case, the cops will be present once you tell them what happened. In my case, there was a cop over the whole entire thing, and there was a cop in over the whole entire thing, along with Adult Protective Services. And also, in my case, I was given the option to not press charges, which I didn't do. But I think in Lawy's case, and Law is right in saying sometimes you don't have the option whether to press charges or not.
Hmm. But Wayne, let me ask you. I I hope you don't mind. Did you say those two ladies disvirgined you in the process?
Those two those two ladies both emotionally abused me and physically abused me. And even though I don't have any broken bones to say it was emotional, it was physical abuse, they definitely physically abused me.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Wayne, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I'm happy you're over it and you're okay. And to talk about it, it's painful for people to disrespect the disabled. We should learn to have respect for them, help them when we see them, not make their life more, make their life miserable. Because
Mhm.
I know you have this challenge already that you're disabled. And one thing I love you and Max and others is that nobody puts the blame on, oh God, why did you curse me? You understand? You just
Yeah,
believe that, oh, I can still do things.
yeah,
And why we have you on the show is to motivate others that are able but are disabled mentally to
I-
get
yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
to
And
get themselves.
yeah, exactly. And do not do not touch a disabled woman, and do not touch a woman in general. It's so funny and sad, because when the um, Me Too movement came out, my dad asked myself and my stepmom, why would someone do that? And I said, because he did not know how to treat women respectfully. And he did not know how to treat um, women respectfully. So that's why Harvey Weinstein did what he did. And now that the Me Too movement has come out, I think more and more women and men are coming out. But, Brother Michael, this cannot stop. This cannot stop. We need to go full tilt on what is going on, and we need to have a IMTV panel discussion like we're having this morning about this, and we need to continue the Me Too movement internationally.
Sure, we'll do that. Lauren, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have about 3 questions, and the last episode. Okay, I think we have Cheryl back, and I pray my screen will be good. Cheryl, we can't see you. Okay, Lauren, while we still wait for Cheryl to come up, and probably if her screen comes up, I might cut you short a bit for her to have a
No
way
worries.
to talk.
No worries.
Because I think she has this network issues popping up in and out. Now, according to the last episode, that's the first episode of healing process, you said people act like nothing happened, or people act like that's victims. Yes, survivors. Let's not use the word victims anymore. Sorry, because surviving it's a beautiful thing. A victim is somebody that dies after it and never has the opportunity to get out of it. Yeah, so let me use the word survivor. You said survivors, people just act like nothing happened. Like the survival, after it happened, they don't think, they pretend as if nothing happens. Or do you think maybe the individual in question is confused about it?
I think both. I mean, to cope with something that's a trauma, people do different things. They will pretend that nothing happened and that they're fine, and they'll carry on with their life pretending that everything is fine. Inside, they will have that confusion in their minds. When they're alone and they are, alone with their thoughts, and they're trying to figure something out, they're going to struggle. They will have struggles in their daily life. It's unfortunate if survivors don't have the opportunity to talk about what happened and to face what happened so that they can process what happened. I'm actually taking a therapy course right now about cognitive processing therapy.
Come again.
And it's called cognitive processing therapy.
Okay.
On the flip side, there's cognitive behavioral therapy, or known as CBT, which is it's a very common type of therapy to help you heal from different things. Cognitive processing therapy, CPT, is also used to help someone heal, particularly if you have PTSD syndrome, which a lot of people, after they suffer trauma, they have post-traumatic stress disorder, the PTSD.
Yeah.
So cognitive processing therapy basically involves you taking a look at your thoughts, paying careful attention to how you think and when you think those thoughts, and then processing your thoughts as well as the event which causes them. So let's say, for example, I'll just give you a quick scenario. So say you were raped by someone who was wearing this heavy, musky cologne. That scent is something that you're going to fixate on, right? You're always going to remember that particular smell. Now, say 5 years goes by and you come across somebody with that same smell, wearing that same cologne.
Yeah.
Well, boom, there's your trigger right there. And that's all you're going to think about is being raped, right?
Sure.
So cognitive processing therapy and all the different kinds of therapy, like they'll help you deal with it and teach you to think differently in a more healthy way. So not everybody who wears that cologne
Alone.
is
Yeah.
a bad person, right? But in your head, everybody who, because that's what your experience was. So
Yeah.
they'll teach you how to reframe your thoughts and things like that. Good. I hope, is she back now? Is she able to talk?
Sharon, can you hear us now?
I can see her on the screen, but I don't see movement. It's like her connection is cutting in and out.
She's having network issues. I
She
understand.
might not make it back. So yeah, so cognitive processing
I
therapy
appreciate
is, yeah, it's really interesting because you get to take a look at your different thoughts that you have, because we all have thoughts and ideas, but sometimes they're influenced by what's going on, and they make us have irrational thoughts. Like our thoughts are, they don't make sense. They make sense to us, but they really don't make sense to anyone else.
True.
So, being able to identify the difference and to be able to reshape your way of thinking and your way of processing things, is a therapy in itself. In my book, I talk a lot about changing your beliefs, and that's essentially what it boils down to, changing your belief system using, I talk about using positive affirmations.
Yeah.
So identifying your emotions and releasing negativity from your life. Changing your mindset by using positive affirmations, and improving your self-image, forming healthy habits one step at a time. Like there's a lot of different strategies and techniques in From Nope to Hope.
Yeah.
We talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we did the show. We talked a lot about this. This book's available on Amazon. It's about, the title is From Nope to Hope, How I Overcame My Suicidal Thoughts and How You Can Too. And it's a self-help book for anyone wanting to live a better life. It's specifically aimed for people suffering from depression and suicidal thoughts, so that they can immediately change their way of thinking and change their outlook on life so that they can live a life worth living. Because really, I mean, that's the goal of every single one of us, right?
True.
Live a happy life, one that we want to live.
True.
So, and I have to thank you, again, for giving people the opportunity to talk about these topics and to raise awareness on these topics. I mean, just because tomorrow's, World Mental Health Day doesn't mean that we can't talk about this any other day. This should be something that people can feel comfortable at any point bringing up on, reaching out on social media for help, looking to, anywhere and everywhere, wherever there's some kind of help out there, wherever that happens to be. I mean, there's, doing a simple internet search will elicit a lot of results. Like there's so many different things people could do. So again, thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about these issues and raise awareness about them.
Thank you for even being part of
And
the
if
show.
I can
Go ahead, Wynn.
just say one more thing. When you call I don't know how it looks in Canada, but I know in the United States, when you call a counselor's office, they have a way of connecting you with a suicide hotline too.
Oh yeah, there's international numbers. You can just call a suicide hotline immediately, and then you'll be connected with somebody. For counseling, if you actually want counseling, that might be the process of getting that is a little bit different depending on where you live. The best way to do is to, there's different places online that will help you find a counselor. If you prefer talking with your family doctor, you can get a referral to see an expert or a counselor or a psychiatrist or whatever it is. You might have to go through your family doctor and ask for a referral. But the suicide hotlines, they're there. They will also provide you with additional resources. Looking online, if your situation is, if you're not in a crisis situation where you need a suicide hotline and you just want to reach out to find a counselor, you can look up counselors in your area and just make a call and find out what the process is, because every place has a process. You can't just phone someone up and say, hey, I want a counselor. Are you gonna be my counselor? Like, there's a little bit of a process to get to speak to the right person, because all counselors have different areas of expertise, and you want to be with someone who can effectively help you. So finding that exact match will help you. You need to do that first. So there's different ways of doing that. That's all I'm saying.
All right. When you want to say anything?
I agree with Loy, but for those of you who will be watching this today, and for those of you that will be watching it a year from now, you need to get out of the situation. You need to get help. You need to go kicking and screaming. I don't care if you kick the guy who's actually doing it, or kick the woman who's actually doing it off of you, because you need to go get help. You need to go get help. The abuser won't let the abusee go is a bunch of monkey business, and don't get me started. Do not get me started, because it's a bunch of monkey business. This stranger danger that we're teaching kids is a good thing in the schools, but it's also a bad thing, because a stranger to you can do anything, and they can be a loved one too. They can just be a loved one doing. But for those of you that watch this in the future or today, you need to have the wits to get that person off you enough so that you can have room to breathe and go tell a person of authority.
Sure. Shehu, I guess you can hear us now. Shehu, are you there? I can see you clearly.
Yes,
Shehu, good.
I can hear you. I'm sorry, it's raining heavily here and we are having
I
a
understand.
network issue.
I understand. You're
Yes,
kind of
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
that
I can
you're
hear
kind
you.
of
I can hear.
not.
Yeah, I can hear you too, and I can see you.
I know, but you have this lapses of probably 5 to 10 seconds, 20 seconds before you get back to us. But I'd like you to first of all tell us: do we have a rape kit in Nigeria? If a survivor is being raped and goes to the hospital, is there a rape kit that will be given to that survivor to help deal on the case? Or let's say, what are the procedures you are aware of in handling rape cases in Nigeria? And she can hear me.
I don't know if she can hear you. We were talking about the police and collecting evidence, or even the nurses and doctors collecting DNA evidence. So
in Nigeria, people don't speak out.
What's
People don't speak out at all.
No, but in Nigeria, if they go to the hospital, is there something that is available to them so that they can get that DNA evidence collected?
Okay. She was talking. I think we lost her for a while.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I said, can you hear me now? I said in
Mhm.
Yes.
Nigeria,
Yeah.
people don't even do that, except the issue is, yes, except the go there. People would rather keep their rape cases to themselves alone and not to want to talk to anyone about it. Go to the hospital. The only thing they will do for you is to probably check you for infection, probably just see if you're safe, if you have any tear or anything. Even in Nigeria, they don't see a counselor. That's what I wanted to say before when was saying you should just try to go to some community or some have them here. So when you're going through that, to go to somebody that has been in and out of it, that's the only person that can understand you. The I can say churches are trying, because you can imagine going to a pastor and say, "Pastor, I'm a prostitute." The first thing they will look at you,
True. They'll
you know,
stigmatize you immediately.
would
Mm, mm.
kill your esteem, your self-esteem. So it's not really easy. Nigeria is a kind of place where people do things and they just nobody is prosecuting them. Now,
Sure.
I can tell you that every 6 of 10 women are molested.
True.
And to shock you, some men, some fathers molest their children, and the wife
True.
will be aware and they'll keep quiet. I've seen where fathers molest their stepchildren, and the will be like, "I want to keep my home because I want to keep my home. I'm not going to say anything about it."
Yeah.
So this is the kind of country we grew up, and that is why I understand the woman that wrote this question, that sent this letter. Because coming out, who do you want to come out to? Who do you want to talk to? Okay, I've been into prostitution since age 13. Assuming it's a child custody, the government can take your child from you, yes. But there's no government that will take your child from you. So even if you go to the police station, the only thing they will do is just to invite the mother and just try to speak to
Wow.
her. Nobody wants to take the responsibility of these victims. Yes. So that's why I said I understand that. The first thing is to do is just to change environment, get a job. And there's something about self-esteem. One thing, the thing has affected her self-esteem. She cannot do any other thing. She cannot do that job. And for some OND, now in Nigeria, OND is like it's no certificate at. So
It's
getting
just
a
like a
job with
school.
ON, it's not she has to do many. And when people hear your story, they're against you. You want to work in, you want to sleep with you because they feel that you were once a prostitute. So was a big deal about it to sleep with me. So she go through the process. That I said is difficult because at the time she might want to go back. Especially when you trust people and you feel that these people are helping you to heal, and these are the same people that want to molest you or harass you again. So the first thing is just to get somebody that's been in there and that's been out there, that understand and is ready to take up as like, this is my responsibility, whatever come. I used to tell people that in the process of healing, it's not as if there are times you will not fall, there are times you will not want to go back. But when you go back, just say yourself, I'm not going to be, no, this is not where I'm going to be. Just pick yourself up again and move. It might not be fast, it might be slow, but just keep moving. If you're going to run. If you're going to, just make sure you are not they are not in the same place they used to be, and one thing is that she just needs to look inward and find that beautiful self.
Mm.
She needs to just know who she is. She needs to just know, I know I can do this. I know I'm beautiful. I know I can start learning skills. I know I can. You just have to find that person, that inner self in you, and believe in it. So when people are telling you that you're a prostitute, you say, yes, I know I can tell you who you are. You need to first tell yourself, this is who I am. So she needs to just find that inner self and build her esteem on it. I'm very sure she'll be good at something. So she just needs to put all her energy on that one thing she believes in and build on it. And she
All right.
become
All right.
better.
Cheryl, let me ask you this.
I so much
Let me
believe
ask
in
you
that. And as for her mother, she just needs to be far away from that woman. If not, the woman will drag back. I had the
Okay. Let
story
me
of a
ask you.
woman. Her mother has aborted, I think like 17 times within the space of 3 years. And
Whoa.
okay,
Yeah, sheesh.
I can hear you.
All right. Let me ask you this. My question is, so there's no kit that can help get a DNA of any rape survivor in our hospitals in
You want to
Nigeria?
ask me a question?
She'll hear it now.
There's a delay.
She'll hear it. She'll get it. Sure. I'm still waiting. You're gonna get it. Because I really need you to talk more about it. Mm.
She was saying that a lot of people don't even want to admit what happened, so
Yeah.
they wouldn't even have, the nurses and doctors and whoever wouldn't even have an idea to offer that service
Because
to
True.
check for the DNA
Exactly.
because the people aren't telling them. So it needs to happen. So I'm sure that if someone in your country went to the hospital and said, I need you to collect some DNA evidence from my body because this happened to me, I'm sure that there would be a way to do that, whether it's by them or by the police. But the thing is the women need to be able to have the strength and courage to come forward in the first place. And from the sounds of it, even from when we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, she said that women, Nigerian women and African women, stay silent.
True.
They don't talk about these
About it
things.
at all.
And that is something that needs to change.
that is something that needs to stop internationally. And Michael, you taught Loy and I something this morning by bringing Sue on because I did not know that African women are, and I don't want to say prideful, are so ashamed of what happened that they won't take the next step. So for those of you that are watching, a mantra that I use is I'm strong, I'm beautiful, I'm independent. But in order for that mantra to become true, you have to repeat it 1,000 times over. And that has got to stop in these international countries. We have got to ask the right questions to these international victims, and we have got to put the pressure on these international law enforcement to do something about it, because even though we go state by state and Canada goes province by province, we need to collectively speak as one and speak to these international women like
True.
Sue to have them understand that it's okay to come forward and it's okay to talk to your inner circle. It's okay to, if you want to send a text message, it's okay if you want to use WhatsApp. It's okay if you want to use Facebook Messenger.
Sure.
It's okay to talk to Brother Michael, who brought us on here this morning. But we need to get united literally and figuratively as one voice about sexual abuse, emotional abuse, women's rape, and because it sounds like Sue is having was having a terrible time and is having a terrible time with what happened to her because in
Sure.
her country's culture it doesn't happen.
Sure. 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 Lauren, let me ask you this. I have two more questions, then we'll wrap it up. You talked about signs your teacher saw that she saw when you were having those when you were at that stage when things were really hitting you because of being raped and others. You said your teacher noticed some signs. Can you talk more about the signs? What kind of signs can a lame person should notice about a survivor?
Honestly, I don't know what my teacher saw, but she was trained as a counselor prior to becoming a teacher. So she knew what to look for. Now, I can't really answer that question effectively because I don't know what all of the signs are, but definitely if you're looking at your students and you notice changes in their behavior, if say they normally participate in class and talk a lot, but all of a sudden now they're quiet,
Mm,
that's a sign.
mm,
If they normally always do their homework and all of a sudden now they don't care, they're not doing their homework anymore, that's another sign. So it's basically changes in a person's behavior that are different from what they normally are like. Anything that's different,
mm,
question it. That's probably a sign.
mm.
What was your last question that you had, Michael?
Okay. You said you were raped thrice. Um, Now, how were you raped at the age of 14? Who raped you? And
It was an older friend of an older friend.
okay, okay. And the
And I
other,
don't want to talk about the other instances.
you don't want to talk about it. Free, please.
No.
It's okay. It's okay. What you talk about food mood connection. What do you mean by that? Food mood connection. You said it on the last episode. So,
Oh, yeah, that was a book actually I just helped one of my clients publish.
okay.
Yeah, I've got that. I actually have it. I have it here. It was a book that, yes, I do this for my businesses. I help other people become authors. And
Yeah.
so this lady actually, so I did all of the formatting I did all of the editing. I did all of the formatting.
Okay.
She talks about so many different things. She's included, a few images in the book. It's actually a very nice, the way it turned, I don't know, it's really hard to see, but yeah, it turned out great. She talks about the different, how the different foods that we eat will affect our mood and our health. So it's actually a really interesting book.
Okay.
It's by Lynn Potter Lord. It's on Amazon. The Food Mood Connection. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to be show about it, and Felicia
Yeah,
will throw more
that's what
light.
that was.
All right, it's okay. Cheryl, you're back, right? I hope you can hear us this time because your network looks good and better now.
Yeah, we can
you-
see her. You just
Yeah,
can't hear her again.
Cheryl, good.
I'm
She's smiling. So let
here.
me.
Can you hear me?
Uh, yes, very well.
Hear you.
Yes, very well. Now, tell us your own experience, how you were
Okay.
sexually traumatized. Give us your own experience.
Okay. Actually, what happened was I think I was in year two,
Yeah.
and I came home for a program in church.
Okay.
And when I came back, we had a rehearsal, very long rehearsal. I got home, I was very tired. And when I got home, it happened that that night armed robbers came to the house, and they were close to 20 in my compound. So it was
Arm robbers, 20
like,
number. Good.
yeah, they raided the whole street. When they raided the whole street, I was affected. They came to the house, they broke in through the door, through the wall.
Okay, through the wall.
And when they came, I was there, I was still sleeping. And they just came in. So when they came in, I was beaten, and the first guy just dragged me inside. It was in presence of my brother and my mom, and I was raped. And the second, I was raped, and the second guy came to throw a gun at gunpoint because they had to point a gun to my head before I could agree. And there were so much in the compound. So the third guy wanted to come. One of their leaders had to take me, hide me in the bedroom, lock the door, told me not to come out until they are gone. So after they left, and my compound, we have like 6 tenants. So it's not something that is new, because they were like, "Are you done? I want to be the next. Are you done? I want to be the next." So it's like everybody knew I was raped. My mom was there. My mom could not do anything because they were shooting at us. My cousin was there. He could not do anything. So when they went, I had tears. I was in a bad shape. I was rushed to the hospital, conducted a lot of tests, and the doctor just said, "Don't worry, your tears will heal." And said, "See a counselor." Who is the counselor? That I went back home. Now there was another issue at home. People were not passing blame. My dad wasn't around. He came back and was like, "Hey, my mom should have done this." My mom said, "You should have done this." So it became a family issue. At that time, they did not consider, okay, she's the victim here. She needed more help. She needed, and they were just throwing blames at each other. The fear, I had to run back to school. And then I just knew that, okay, this thing is a lot about it. So the shame, I could come out. It was as if I should construct a bridge from my house down to the main road. But I don't just want anyone to see me like, they say, that girl was raped yesterday, that girl was raped last week, that kind of thing. So I was so afraid. It broke me. So I ran back to school. And I had a boyfriend that we're not, I don't allow him to touch me for years. And I felt very bad that, okay, because a guy can just point a gun at me, he could just, get his way. I wanted to heal. So I started having sex with my boyfriend. It was not the healing I needed. It was every time I was there, he's on top of me. I'll just break down. I will cry and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. I'll try again the next day. I will cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. I could not heal from it. And it was like that for years. Until I just stood up one day. I told myself, no, this has to stop. it has happened. I went back to God. I prayed. I called him names. I just like, will you allow this happen to me? You know, when you have a lot of bitterness inside of you, I just need to pour everything, the hunger out. But there was nobody to pour it on. So I decided to take it in prayer. I did that. I felt empty. That was the first step. Then I began to help others in it. When I hear people have been molested or they've been raped, I try to counsel them. I realized that I was healing faster when I was helping people and when I was bold to share it. The problem about blacks that we don't share, we don't talk. Even to the closest person, we don't tell them. We just feel that they will look at us with a kind of eye and will be, it will affect our values. But I was bold to say, I've been raped and I'm better. So that alone, one thing is when you share your story or when you help people heal, you hear some terrible things and I just realize, oh, mine is just little. So it just takes you off. When you hear people's stories, you forget your own. You just realize that, oh, what happened to me is just too small compared to what's happening to other people out there. So rising up for people, helping them heal actually helped me heal. I just make people understand that if I could be this, after a lot of things I've been through in this, this my short years that I've lived, I don't see anybody as failure. You just have to pick up yourself and tell yourself, no, I'm no longer that person. I'm going to be this person. And I don't believe anybody is a failure and you can't achieve it. You just need to find that strength inside of you. There is. Just find the strength and just stand up. I can do it. If I can do it, you also can do it. That's what I tell them. I've seen people that would tell me I've been a prostitute for years. I said, so? I don't judge. I said, I don't want to know your story. Probably if I've been in issue, I would have been worse. So now you've been there. Let us fix you up. What do you want to do now? And most of them have a better relationship because if you don't with this thing, it affects a relationship. I've seen people that don't address this issue end up marrying men that will abuse them. And they'll just be in not even just marriage, even their relationship. You hear them dating guys who just mess them up, abuse them, harass them. And I tell them, until you find yourself, until you see that value you have, until you build up yourself, and until you tell yourself you're still very beautiful in the inside, guys will always treat you like this, like trash, like shit. So nobody can tell you, nobody can compliment, just compliment yourself. That's what I tell people. Even if you don't, how will you? It's my life. I know I am the one that is walking the road, so I know. So you can't tell me. So it took me like years. I was able to get over it. When Lauren was talking about our experience 2 weeks ago, and she said she kept quiet for 8 years, I shouted at like 8 good years. I kept quiet about it. It's something people have been suffering from. We just want to keep quiet about it. Growing up, I've been molested several times growing up because the kind of area, like in your area, Lauren, you have like all this wood. So we have them like that in Nigeria, that some areas are just so crowded, like you don't want to just raise children there. And if you raise them, you should know that things like this happen. I'd be so surprised that girls will be molested and they can't even tell their parents because they're afraid to. They just feel, no. If I tell my mom, how will my mom feel? How will my mom look? That is the way we grew up. So my own experience, my mom was there, my brother was there, everybody in the family got to know, everybody on the street probably knew about it. But come on, my life became more beautiful after that. So that's an encouragement for anybody going through this. Don't worry, your life can still be very beautiful. Don't let that one single act or one single situation just define you. It can't define you. No, it is not who you are. It happened, but that doesn't define you.
Great.
There's a couple
Great.
things that you said that I wanted to comment on.
Okay.
First of all, I have to commend you for sharing your story and having the courage to do that, especially given your culture and how women have been taught to stay quiet. I think that's absolutely awesome that you shared your story and your experience. I'm sorry that you had to go through everything, but the fact that you're talking about it and helping, being that role model to other Nigerian women, I just look at you with admiration in my eyes. And that's so beautiful to see that you're doing that. Secondly, what I wanted to say when you were talking about why
Thank you.
why women are so quiet. It could be because you're taught something different at home. Like, I don't know exactly what the African cultures involve, but I do know that being a good parent is something that's universal. And if you teach your children to not hide anything and to always be open, then that will help future generations know that it's okay to talk about anything. So I think maybe that's something that might need to be pushed for and like enhanced in Africa. Is parents need to really stress to their children, look, you need, if something bad happens to you, you tell somebody right away. Don't wait to tell anybody. Tell somebody right away and not have any kind of fear of talking about it. You know, like if something bad happens to you, we'll get you help. So, and I don't think that's just applicable to people in Africa. I think that's applicable to parents everywhere, worldwide. I mean, that's something that I always taught my son. And, you know, I have a very open relationship with him now. So, I'm hearing an echo and I'm not sure why
Yeah,
or what's going
it's
on.
really from our own side.
Okay.
From our
So,
side. Actually from our side. That's what's coming up.
yeah,
From our side.
I think it's almost time for the show to be over anyways, isn't it?
Yeah. We're taking a wrap now.
Okay.
Just to wrap the show, I want to thank everyone, especially Lauren and Shew and Wayne, for being part of today's episode. It's actually, to me, we're still not done with this topic.
Oh no,
We
it'll
still have
never be done.
So I'm still gonna have you guys on very soon. I'm still gonna get you on very soon. I promise you, guys. That by then I'll get I'm working on getting a male survivor that was being raped and trying to bring him in to share his own experience. You understand of how he was being raped. So still working on that. And I had also someone that really wanted to talk about it in Zimbabwe, but I think she's either having network issues or probably I don't know, probably electricity issues that she can't come online today. I'll get back to her, and I believe the next time we're going to be here to talk about it. This time, we're going to be discuss more. Like I said, I am grateful for sharing this in her time to come here to really talk. It's rare to see African women talk about it, and I know one that spoke about it. Yeah, and I hope to get on this show to talk about it too. I'm grateful for sharing. I remember really to see application too about it. She roasted Matthias. It's all that name because the person that did that is a public figure, and I'm sorry to say this because he's a pastor. And he was not a pastor, he was a pastor, and I'm sorry to say this, he's a pastor, and he was not yet a pastor. Sorry that we got, he was not yet a pastor. And even the way to church had to just went to court. Sorry, church really guide the matter, and she's just honestly, it's really touching. So I commend for good job. I pray more African women will come out more about this because this is something not good for us to deal with in our society. To be honest, our children are not safe. If this keeps going on, our kids are not safe. And from figures gathered, about 96% of the world experience abuse of any sort, be it sexually, be it physically, be it emotionally, and most times, some of us come out good. And most times, and the rest, some of us become out terrible. Either they turn out to be rapists, become out terrible, either they murderers, just committing crime in the society, and it's not helping our society and the world at large. I believe if we keep in the society, and it's not helping our society. One day, the world will be. I believe if we keep our generation, our children, one day, the future will have a safe place to live in. Our children. Wrapping up the show, I want to thank everyone again. We'll have a safe place. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Win. Thank you, Shehu, for coming. Yes. Today we're going to be wrapping up with an African proverb that says, "A man who pays good. A man who pays respect to the great paves the way for his own greatness." Meaning, what goes around comes around. So whatever you do, you should reap. Don't forget to tune in to Med Friday. It's already on. So if you really want to get to know more about COVID-19, your health, so if you really want to get more about the hygienic way to live, your health, more about health, tune into Med Friday. We'll be having important guests. Also exciting, just the way Mind Closet 101 is. And after that will be Financial Friday for entrepreneurs and business. Exciting, just the way Mind Closet 101 is. And after that will be Financial Friday. Don't forget on Monday, forget radio talk show with Mark Lee and hashtag Win with Win. Radio talk show with Win. Yes, Win is not a show on Monday as well. About Win. I got to know about it. On Tuesday, must show more about Win. I got to know about it. On Tuesday, must show more about that really need to speak out to have ground. Society that really need to speak out to have ground. Sorry about the background. They're actually working in my house. About the background. On Tuesday is World News COVID-19. Celebrity Tuesday. Celebrities coming to talk. The IBM team. We have Vivian China, where Vivian tells us more about China, the food, and how she country in China. On Wednesday is Startup Wednesday for talk for entrepreneurs. We have they want to grow their business. Startup Wednesday tells us what we grow China. Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I have to go. I've got an appointment in 5 minutes. I got to get ready for it.
I know. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for having me. I have to go. I have an appointment in 5 minutes. I got to get ready for it.
I know. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. On Wednesday, Startup Wednesday, with Wednesday also. On Thursday, we have Podcast Wednesday. When all podcasters from all over the world come and we talk about life, we talk about the world at large, talk about politics, news, entertainment, food, and we get to hear Lynn Shepard talk about Dollar Family Store, which I'll get to hear Lynn Shepard talk about every show. We also have Financial Friday, Mid Friday, and Mind Closet 101 on Friday. We also have, sorry, on Thursday we have Gamers Den. For those game lovers, if you want to know new games and want to understand more about the game world, tune in on Thursday. And Friday we have Friday, Mid Friday, and Mind Closet 101. On Saturday we have Spiritual Saturday. Share stars with Sasha, Master and Chess World. So if you want to know more about chess, we have Spiritual Saturday. Into chess more about chess. Then on Saturday we have DJ Chess, where you get to hear live music from our DJ on the IBM. We have Saturday School of Economics on the IBM for all Saturday. School of Entrepreneurship, business-minded. Don't forget to tune in on School of Business-minded Economics with Sherry. Don't forget to talk more. Tune in on your business, how you grow your business, economics with Sherry, how this world how you build your business, how you grow your business, and how every country. So the world tune into Sherry on Saturday. On Sunday we have Super Sunday and the Alexandra May Saturday. Sunday we have Super Sunday and Alexandra May more about just by music in South Africa. She explains the culture, and it's a beautiful show. And I advise you to please try and tune into her show to get to know more about music. So I'd like all my viewers to please go to the IBM TV website, ibm.tv. Click on the green button. You get connected to the Family Dollar Store, where you get to buy affordable items. We have food, we have items down to napkins, down to groceries, beauty items, soaps, whatever you're really looking for. I advise you to please click on that green button, subscribe. If you subscribe, you get a $5 token. Yes, if you do that now, you get a $5 token. And because you are in the month of October, you get another $5 token. That's $10. And if you're in the United States of America, you have the opportunity. If you buy items worth $25 and above, you get a free shipping to your doorstep. Remember, COVID-19 is still around. You don't need to move around unless it's really important. So click on the dollar.familystore.com to shop for your necessary items that you really need, and it will help you. And you're contributing to the hosting of a PBS show on the IBM TV. It's one of an entrepreneur show that Dollar Store, yes, finances, they support us with that, without what 100% of their profit to PBS show. So please do help us. Click, shop, and you're saving yourself stress. You're also having free delivery. So what do you lose? You lose nothing, but you gain more. You gain 10 tokens because you're subscribing now, and you're also subscribing in the month of October. You gain more and save less. And I'll tell you one secret, which I want you to check out for yourself and still let me know. If you shop on Amazon, if you shop on Family Dollar Store, you're saving more because the prices are quite different from Amazon. I want you to do a check and see for yourself. I don't need to preach it that much. But if you shop, you save more compared to the prices on Amazon. Now, to give it a wrap, I want to thank my producers. Ankit, thank you. I know you're not too strong. He's been sick lately, and I want to wish him on air, get well soon, boss. I need you to be up because you're one of the strong pillars of the IBM TV. You make all the shows on, and you're always working around the clock. God continue to bless you and strengthen you. But at the same time, you need more rest, so get well soon. I want to thank all the buds of the IBM TV, from Nick to Kim, Mackley, everyone. Thank you Thank you for making IBM TV one of the best online TVs in the world. Thank you for also giving Mind Closet 101 the opportunity to speak and have a voice on the online TV. Now to all my audiences, please, please don't forget to follow me on social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, from watching a melon. And you can also follow me on my podcast, 3 Minutes with Jesus, which very soon I'm trying to see if it will come in on the IBM TV. So still working on that though. So follow me on my podcast, get to listen to messages from the throne of grace. We'll talk more there. And podcast is already on. You can also follow Mind Closet 101 on every podcast platforms. Yes, Mind Closet 101. Yes, on the podcast platforms. You get to hear more about this in the audio format. Now, let me ask you, what will you be doing with your Friday? I pray you stay safe from COVID-19. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, contacted coronavirus, and to be honest, I pray he gets well soon. Please, my wishes is to His Excellency, the President of the United States of America. Please get well soon. And from the news, he's already getting well. If the president can contact coronavirus, who are you not to contact coronavirus? So I advise you to please stay safe. Don't go out unless it is necessary, and just have fun. Have fun this weekend, and keep tuned to IBM TV for more exciting, educative, inspirational programs on the IBM TV. God bless you. As a sign out, in Igbo language is Kode Tembosyozo. Take care of yourself. Be good. In India, it is Namaste. While in English, bye-bye. Signing out. Bye.